like that. Woo!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle.
Hey, you already know who it is. It's your co-host that does it the most, Rick Masters. We about to get it this weekend. Hey, y'all already know what it is. The Pull Up Basketball Podcast shirts. This is the sweater I be talking about, y'all. Y'all see this? Y'all see this? We not playing with y'all. I'm coming all black today because strong. That's why I'm hyped right now. The Darkhorse, we coming back strong. So y'all already know to find me at Rick Masters 23 or Mr. Lee on Instagram. Rick Masters everywhere else. We got the sweaters, the shirts, white, black, red. Y'all already know the deal. $30 a pop. Let's get it, BJ. I'm excited. Let's go.
Like my man said, $30 a pop for the shirts, $35 for the sweaters. You know what I'm saying? White, black, red, all sizes for y'all today. You know what I mean? We got some good information for y'all. Before y'all hit that like button, get all the notifications out there as well. Hit that like, share, subscribe. Let's get it popping. Bruh, we got two good teams we talking about in the Western Conference. Now, one of the teams that we got, definitely is a well-known team. The other one I feel like is going to somewhat creep from behind and be one of the best teams in the Western Conference for numerous of reasons. Because of the depth, because of the coaching, because of the players that they have around and the camaraderie, what they did last year. I've seen a lot of things, positive signs from this team we're about to talk about, and that's the New Orleans Pelicans, led by Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, as well as CJ McCollum, the new addition to CJ McCollum. So what is your prediction on the New Orleans Pelicans this upcoming season? Where do you see them falling this upcoming year?
Bro, okay. This is straight barbershop mode today. Okay. Straight barbershop mode. Man, look, in the turn-in, the play-in, I got tournament and play-in mixed up in my head. In the play-in, these cats, weren't they playing the what's their name? Didn't they not the play-in, they did play against the Suns in the playoffs. They played against the Suns. Bro, am I the only one that like the Suns was number one, wasn't they?
Yeah, number one in the West.
Did you see how they brung it to them boys?
Yeah.
But hold on. Zion wasn't even there. Bro, look, with that being said, if Zion coming back looking like the Terminator, you know what I'm saying? Looking like he getting in shape. This man got me excited. My man done lost some weight. He look like he about to jump like Superman, like 50 feet in the air. Oh my, bro. I feel like realistically they can really go far, because the way that I think CJ McCollum, when he came to the team, he brought that playoff experience. He brought that, basketball experience, playing with Dame and everything. So I think he really made them a dangerous team. And now that we got Zion, it seems like he's going to be on track with them. He's losing weight. It looked like he's getting into the, the system himself. Bro, to me, I mean, look, they played the number one Western team. I think they can, I think they can at least in the top 5, man. You played against the best and you was really putting them punches on without your best people out there. So I think they're going to be dangerous, bro. That's what I think. They're going to be something else.
So from year to year, I try to always evaluate each team, what they're going to be like. We both do that, right? So what I saw from the Pels early on last season was a team that was kind of just, just there, kind of, tanking a little bit. Didn't have Zion Williamson playing. Didn't have CJ McCollum there. Brandon Ingram was, a nice little player. But their season changed when they got CJ McCollum. That's when their whole entire season changed from the All-Star break. That's when they had some leadership. They had some guy that actually been in there in the big moments in the playoffs. And they have youth on that team. They got guys like, of course, Zion B.I., they got Jose Alvarado, the little Puerto Rican point guard that was hounding Chris Paul. They got Herb Jones, the 6'9" wing that can play defense. They got a lot of good young pieces on that team. But I think the big thing that's going to that's really going to get them over the hump is their coach, Willie Green. I think you're not no bros, bro. Like there's certain coaches that you're going to lay it on the line for. There's certain coaches that actually elevate you to another level because you just want to win so bad for them. And I think the Pelicans have a guy in Willie Green who they're going to play hard for. I saw them playing against us in the playing game. When I say us, I'm talking about the Clippers. And the way they were able to stick through the entire game and not really, fall when they got down a little bit or they missed a shot or where they, missed a defensive assignment, that's a testament to Willie Green, his coaching, his methods, his encouragement to the team. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too down when you're down and don't get too high when you're up. So I like how Willie Green has this team going. I think they have a good core. It's going to depend on, like you said, how Zion Williamson comes back. Last time he was playing, he was averaging 27 points on 61% shooting, 7.3 rebounds. And that's just all in the post. So we haven't really seen Zion really at his – he's only played one year. He was hurt his first year with a knee surgery in his rookie season. The last year he sat out. So we haven't really seen Zion much. But I think they could be definitely a top 4 seed in the Western Conference next year. But let me ask you this, though. What are some things that you think can hold the Pelicans back for being a top 4, top 5 seed?
Zion's going to be one of them. If Zion shows up, man, and now I'm not talking about his playing. I think Zion plays hard every time he touches the court. I'm not worried about him playing. But if he causes any more, ruckus far as media, far as like people talking about him, and then instead of it being the Pelicans about what he's going to do and where he's going to go and what he's going to be, if it's nothing of the sense of, how he's going to contribute to the game, to the team, kind of like how John Wall is to the Clippers on his interview, then, I just feel like that can kind of take away from the team, right? And despite what people may say, whether you a little boy or a grown man, people get tired of seeing your name that's not, revolving around the team expectations. You know what I mean? When it's something outside of what we got going on or something that we can, build as a team, people get tired of hearing that, man. So even though I wouldn't blame it all on him. I just think that long as he is basically saying things and doing things kind of like he's been doing, look like he's working out, things that can defeat the counter argument of what people say about him. So remember, one of the biggest things was, my man fat. He gonna break his knees and break his ankles, man. He got ham hock ankles, all that kind of stuff. Then it's like, now you see him working out. Now you see him slimming down. It's like, okay. So that kind of keeps the media down. You see what I'm saying? Like he's counteracting that. Or like when they're like, well, where is he going to go? Like, is he going to stay with us or he going to go somewhere else? And then you see him all checked in. Like he's staying with the Pelicans. So it's one of those things where the reason why I'm hyped, Doubtless Sports, Rick, you seem too hyped about Zion, but he still has to prove himself. The reason why I'm hyped is because he's an exciting player. Now, it's my opinion, if you feel like he trash or he not that good or he not that exciting, that's brother, that's fine. But with me, I like Zion. Zion, that dude is a monster. He's like a baby Shaq. Like you can't really do nothing with him already. And I feel like him getting in shape is really going to help him out and is really going to progress the team. So I feel you. You do got to prove yourself. I'm not knocking that. But I'm excited because I like his playing style. But yeah, BJ, my thing is I really think that if he does things that revolves around the team like he's been doing, is going to bring the morale up. And, man, we just got to see what happens, man. But, yeah, that's why I'm excited, Dallas, and that's why I'm excited, B-Jizzle.
Well, if we look at a couple things, I just want to bring a couple things to light. Zion had, there's an article about Zion just recently came out about him and his weight. So reportedly he's at 284 right now, 284 pounds. And basically he's bothered by people talking about how, big he is or out of shape he is. So I guess that's why he's gotten back into shape. But also when I read the article, there was a little bit of a stipulation because, he just signed that 5-year, $293 million deal. So there's a stipulation in the fine print. You must be under 295 to be able to secure your bread. Well, I didn't know you can do that in your contract. So pretty much they blackmailing him. He said, you can get your 293, but if you step out of that 295 weight, then we can take back, it's not all guaranteed, nigga. Like we can dip dab in your money a little bit. So this could be a motivator for Zion.
Bobby, 185.
It's probably a motivator, but it's like I feel like me personally, like if that's your job, or that's
Yeah,
your job just to
yeah.
hoop, you should be doing that anyway. So if that's motivating Zion, that's not gonna last. But I'm excited to see Zion play. Like I said, he averaged 27 points a game off 61% free field goal percent shooting. So dude, he's a bucket. You're not gonna find too many people that can stop him or stronger than him at his position. He just gotta stay consistent. CJ McCollum is gonna be there. Bi's getting better. They got the great coaching of Willie Green.
Yeah.
I'm very very encouraged that they can be a top 4 seed. If you look at the Western Conference right now, look at the teams right there in front of him: the Phoenix Suns, the Memphis Grizzlies, Golden State, Dallas, Utah, Denver, Minnesota, New Orleans, Clippers, and the Spurs. So out of those 10 teams, who would you say are the top five? Rick, I'm gonna ask you that question. Who are the top 5 teams out of those first 10?
How the New York dudes doing? They all black. They about to spit bars.
Yeah,
About to do. Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Phoenix made me mad, so I'm based off of just straight bias. I'm not even looking at them. They piss me off, man.
yeah.
I'm gonna rock with Clips. You said top 10, right?
Top five. Who are the top five of those
No, but
first
you
10?
said I can pick out of the first 10, right? Or
Yeah, the
just
first 10. The first 10.
yeah. So we put Clips in one. John Wall coming over. I watched his interview. Dude look ready, and I already know what Kawhi can do. And PG been proving himself every year that nobody's been there. So yeah, that number one. I'm gonna put Gold State number 2. Now I know that sounds backwards to a lot of people, but I just I just know what I can do. Like when he healthy, like when he healthy, and PG been showing out like he been doing, and John Wall talking that talk, and I feel like he gonna be coming at even though I feel like Steph Curry ain't scared of nobody, but I just feel like he is gonna come at Steph. He really gonna come at him.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put them number 1. I have, how can I say it? It's like if Mike Tyson and Mayweather got in the ring. They both good fighters, but I just know that if Mike land one get hit, that's
a
how
wrap.
I look at the Clippers.
It's a wrap.
So Clippers 1, Warriors 2. We gonna rock with. I like Joker, man. I'm put the number 3. I like Joker. As much trash as people talk about Joker, he don't really, let it bother him. He just plays his game. I like those type of players. So, and I like how he rallies his team around him. So I'm gonna put them number 3. So, okay. We gonna do Pelicans number 4. That's 4, right? And oh man, this is tough. But I'm gonna go ahead and ride with what up, Juanita Thomas? What up? I'm gonna ride with did I say Dallas?
No, you ain't say Dallas yet.
I'm gonna say Dallas just because I feel like for them to get to the Western Conference Finals, that's gonna help them mentally. I feel like every time you go further and further, it's gonna help you experience wise. So what did I say? I said Clippers, Warriors, what did I say? Denver, Dallas. And who was the last? Pelicans, right? But Pelicans I think are number 4. So yeah, we're gonna roll with that. That's what I'm gonna roll with.
That's pretty similar to my list too, because I'm not sold on Phoenix. I think Phoenix is, their shot.
They choke so bad. I just don't trust them. I don't trust them.
They shot. Chris Paul's a year older. DeAndre Ayton, he signed this deal, but it's a little bit tension in that locker room with him and CP. Memphis, I don't think Memphis is gonna be as good as last year because everybody's gonna be out hunting for them. Like for instance, if the Pelicans face Memphis in the playoffs, I got the Pels beating them because they got the dominance of Zion and they got the skills of Bi and CJ. And I think that's just gonna be a lot for the Grizzlies to have to handle. So I got them. Of course, the Golden State Warriors are just a given. You could put them at 1 or 2. It don't really matter. Golden State, Clippers, Dallas is gonna be there because they're a year better. Who else? We got Utah, their shot. Minnesota, I think they're cool, but I think they're still a little bit immature. I don't think they're ready to be a top seed. I don't think that Karl-Anthony Towns is ready. I don't think he's fearless, but he's still immature. And then they just got a lot of things with that roster. And losing Pat Bev was big for them. So I got Warriors, Clips, Mavs, Denver, and the Pels. Like you said, the top 5, bro. That's gonna be my top 5. But anything else you want to get on that, bro, before we switch off?
Man, look, man. All I got to say is that all right, Beach, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
What do you okay? Healthy roster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pelicans are all healthy. Nobody gets hurt. Everything going well. Like, realistically, how far do they go?
It depends. It depends who they face. Like, okay, I think there'll be a top 5 seed in the West next year. Okay. I truly believe it. I think there'll be a top 5 seed. But if they got to deal with, they got 2 teams they got to stay away from. That's the Warriors and the Clippers. Stay away from those 2 teams, and you good.
Stay away.
Stay away from them 2 teams, and you good. But if they face Denver, they can beat Denver. I think they can beat Denver. I think they can beat Phoenix this year with Zion being back and them being healthy a year better. I think they can beat Dallas. I think they can beat Memphis. I think they can beat any one of those 4 teams. But if they got to deal with the Clippers or the Warriors, then I don't think they're going to get past. So I think about a second round exit is what the Pelicans going to be out next year.
Okay. All right. I ain't got nothing to say against that. That kind of makes sense to me too. Let's roll to the next topic.
Yes, sir. We got the LA Clippers. You know what I'm saying? Clip City, Chip City, Clip Gang on bang. Right? You got it, bro. You go first.
Hey, man. Look, I got through watching the matter of fact, I'm pulling it up on my phone here because I remember I watched it yesterday. I can't think. Now, I know it was John Wall and it was an Asian guy. I'm trying to think of it. It's like,
I got the video right here, bro. I know what you're talking about. I can play it right now.
If you got it, play it.
Usnik, one of the top ESPN reporters, interviewed John Wall. I think, was it like 2 weeks ago, bro?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that video right now, and I'm gonna let y'all see what John Wall had to say, and we'll be right back. All right. So here we go. Just wait for this to come on. All right.
I think some people have forgotten about John Wall.
For sure, a lot of people have forgotten about me, but it don't take long to wake them back up.
John Wall scores. John Wall has taken over this game. Hashtag that.
John, you didn't waste any time agreeing terms with the Clippers. Why the Clippers?
They just a first class organization. Great teammates over there. They're great guys. Get the opportunity to play with Kawhi and PG. They just like they have a great culture. That's something I want to be around, and also not having to be a Batman every night, having an opportunity to play with other players where I can take the back seat and develop my game, but also just help those guys out as much as possible.
Oh, Kawhi Leonard! Paul George! That was sick! Look it!
I mean, I watched that team from afar for a long time, and like this point in my career, I could have probably signed anywhere else and tried to be the man. I feel like I'm past that stage, and I mean, you got to mature and sometimes take your pride away. That's something I'm willing to do. I know I'm feeling.
All right, man. So that was John Wall. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember that? Remember that dance they used to do? Yeah. So the addition of John Wall to the LA Clippers, but I'm gonna let you take it, man. What do you think? What do you think about, first of all, the team in general? Okay. Right. Give me your honest opinion of your thoughts of this team. What do you think they're gonna end up? And you got it, bro. You got the stage. Go ahead.
Hey, man. Well, the team in general, I honestly feel like they can win the whole thing. I'm just being real. Like, I agree with me. I feel like they can win the whole thing, man. And the reason why I brought up that interview in particular is because I noticed a couple of things that John Wall said. One thing was he is tired of basically being the main head honcho of every team he plays on. He said he wants to play a different role. He wants to basically take a back seat at times and actually, facilitate in different ways. So what that was telling me as a basketball player, he's tired of carrying all the weight. He's tired of it. Because remember, a lot of stuff going into this team, people were like, man, well, you can't have too many superstars and blah, blah, blah. And he's already letting you know, look, I just want to take the back seat, man. And then he made a very clear statement when he said, in points where games are close, and it's like Kawhi and Paul, like in the fourth quarter, they have the ball, they gonna lose where John Wall is at. He said that's where he's gonna capitalize, and I can see that happening because while you paying attention to Kawhi, you paying attention to Paul, you be forgetting about that little zip man that be running everywhere and they be taking off. And he said that's where he's going to capitalize at. And I can honestly see that because you got to worry about Kawhi. You have to worry about PG-13. This man has been proven for the last 2 years without Kawhi even playing that you got to worry about him. So I just feel like his mindset, John Wall's mindset coming into this team, he wants to do whatever he can to support those two. And I feel like, man, when you got a caliber of player like that, with that kind of mindset, that's almost like, that's like Steph Curry. That's like Steph Curry, like, look, hey, I'm going to let you do your thing and I'm going to support you. Bro, y'all finna go far because we know Steph Curry can take over by himself. But It's like you got a player of that caliber sitting back saying, I'm going to let you do your thing and I'm just going to follow your lead. And then he made mention that Kawhi and Paul George talked to him on the phone. It was like, hey, man, when you get here, play your game. And we going to mesh with, bro, that's the best feeling in the world where you can meet up with people and they like, do you, and we going to follow you. So, bro, I think it's going to be an incredible year, man. I'm excited. What you think?
Bro, I got so many. First of all, great analysis, bro, as usual. I got a lot to say about it, bro. First off, what you just said was key. He said Kawhi and PG took it upon themselves to welcome in. Like, you come to my house, I'm going to make sure you feel comfortable and welcome, no matter what. It's not your job to feel welcome. It's my job to make you feel welcome. Mm-hmm. So that's what Kawhi and PG did off rip. Come in here, play your game, top five. I mean, be a top all-elite scorer, elite playmaker. Do all that, man. Don't come in here trying to, back, because we're going to need you to be all that if we're going to win it all. I think with that was a big thing for John Wall. I think now he's looking at like, okay, I don't have to worry about stepping on nobody's toes. I got the security coming from the big dog, Kawhi and PG, to come in here and play my game. I got their blessing, so I'm good. Him being out last season, people got to remember this. John Wall was not hurt last year. He sat out on purpose. So we're not talking about, he's coming off an injury. We're talking about him sitting out because he felt at the time with the Rockets he should have been starting. So I think people need to get that understood because when he was playing, he was averaging 20 points and 7 assists a game. And he gave us, we played the last time he played was the Clippers. He gave us problems. I've been watching John Wall since he was on Word of God in North Carolina high school. This dude's been a problem since he's been in high school. Before Ja Morant came, before he was with Derrick Rose, like he was probably the fastest dude with the ball in his hands. He still has that blazing speed. He still has that athleticism. So they messed up by giving John Wall to the Clippers because they got him for a cheap price. So now he's on a team, like you said, where he doesn't have to be the man every night. Notice what he said. He didn't say he couldn't be the man. He said every single night. So that's telling you he's still capable of being John Wall old. But now you got Kawhi and PG beside you. I can take some time off. So now you got the third defender guarding John Wall. That's going to be a problem for whoever has to guard him. He averaging 9 assists a game for his entire career. Bruh, the Clippers are making chess moves, I think, not just with the addition of John Wall, but also the amount of 3D guys they have with Norman Powell, Robert Covington, Kawhi and PG, of course, Nicholas Batum, bro. Like, they have the perfect roster this year. I'm not going to say too much more. I'm going to get right back to you, bro. What are some of the other things the Clippers have you think have an advantage over everybody else in the league?
Well, you said they had Nicholas Batum, Brandon Boston Jr., Amir Coffey, Robert Covington. People kind of sleep on him. That dude's pretty tough. Robert Covington, I like his game. I can't say the brother name, but I almost said diabetes, but Diabete, 6'11". So we got Reggie Jackson, of course, Luke Kennard. I mean, dude, Terrence Mann. Like, bro, I'm just looking at this roster right now. Xavier Moon, he pretty straight. Marcus Morris Sr., you already said Norman Powell, Jason Preston, and of course, John Wall, and then Zubac. Bro, I'm rubbing my head because to be honest with you, if they are healthy, this man, look, man, that it's just the possibilities are endless, as they say. If these guys are healthy, and then you already got Kawhi, and you already got, Paul George telling John Wall, look, when you get here, just do your thing. We basically gonna mesh with you. I just feel like I see why the owner's so excited. I see why. Because you already understand that Kawhi ain't no joke, bro. Kawhi turns, I call him Terminator. Because when he on that court, he is serious. Like, this dude locked in. And unless he gets hurt, it's over for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was telling people. Your only hope is he gets hurt.
He gets hurt. And then Paul George, like, this dude been showing us literally for the last 2 seasons. He tired of Skip Bayless talking trash about him. He's sick of it. Like, I feel like Paul George was just sitting down one day and Skip was like, pandemic 13, and then Paul George is like, I'm sick of this, man. I'm about to show this man something. He been showing us. And then John Wall, like, dude was just, anytime a brother sitting down calm with house shoes on, with Nike flip-flops on, red chili hats on like that, with basketball shorts, like it's a summer day at the blacktop, and he just like, hey, man. Like, remember when the interviewer asked him, he said, how do you feel about the LA Lakers and what they got? You feel like it's going to be a battle? He said, a battle? Bro, when he did that, I said, popping. It's every basketball player know what that means. A battle? Like, yo, that.
Yeah.
I said, yo, it's about to get crazy, BJ. Like, go ahead, man.
Bro, I don't think, and that's hoop talk, bro. Like that's just hoop talk. We just know what's really what, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like my man Herm is he's trolling. He said the Clippers have too many wings and guards. Will be hard to spread the minutes in the playoffs, and guys won't be in a rhythm. So that's something to really look at. They do have a lot of good players, like a lot of wings. They're going to have to find a way to spread the minutes. But my thing is this. That's why Ty Lue is the best coach in the NBA, because he's able to make it work for whatever lineup he has. Ty Lue is going to go with the guys that are playing well at that moment. He's not going to just be like, okay, you're going to play this game, you're going to play that game. It's based off the situation. Y'all remember last year when the Clippers played the Mavericks last year? They sat down Pat Beverly and Ivica Zubac and put in Nicholas Batum and Terrence Mann because Luka Doncic was killing Pat Bev and Zubac on the pick and roll. This is basketball 101. Mm-hmm. He's not going to go into a series and say, hey, you're going to play this amount of minutes, you're going to play that amount. He's going to go in there saying, okay, look, we're going to test you out and see what you do. You might play 20 minutes in this series. You might play 8 minutes in the next series. It's just all going to be a feel thing. So I'm not worried about how many minutes guys are going to get. I look at it, the glass is half full, not half empty. Because even if I don't play, let's say that I don't know, Terrence Mann or Reggie doesn't play a lot in a series, they're not going to go around pouting. That's what the Clippers have. The Clippers don't have a bunch of guys to be pouting and, like, you know, begging for minutes. They are very selfless. They're very close-knit group, and they understand, okay, one series I might not play a lot or play the most minutes, but the next series it could change. They have an ultimate goal to win the championship. So I'm not really worried about what they're going to look like with, you know, so many wings and guards and two-way players and all that. That's just, you know, noise, outside noise. But like you said, bro, John Wall is going to definitely be ready to go. But the big thing, of course, we all know is what's going to be with Kawhi Leonard, how he's going to return next season. Now, you know how I feel about Claw. I think Claw is the best player in the NBA. I think he's better than Giannis. I think he's better than LeBron. I think he's better than Steph. I think he's better than KD. I think he's better than anybody for a number of reasons I'm going to get into after you go. How do you see Kawhi coming back next season? Do you see Kawhi losing a step? Do you see him gaining a step? Do you see Kawhi coming back the same? What do you see Kawhi coming back next year, bro? Honestly.
I think Kawhi is gonna be okay if he was really, you know, taking care of himself, which I think he does. That's why he takes so much time off. I remember when I was in the Army. Now, this was back now. I don't know if you remember this, bro. This is pretty old. But remember when Kawhi was playing with the Spurs, and this before he won his first championship, I made a comment on Facebook. I said that number 2 is going to be the best player in the league you watch. Do you remember that? It's before he won his first championship. I remember this when I was in the Army still. Now, you probably don't remember, but I remember saying that.
Right.
And
right.
Lord and behold, this man wins a championship. Then he goes over to the doggone Raptors, wins another one. And the way he went over there and won, that's what made it crazy. And now we just waiting on him to stay healthy,
right,
to win another one. Because to me, to be honest with you, I called all this out before he became the Claw. I called all this out because I have a good, talented eye. I can watch a person and be like, yo, he gonna beat somebody. This is before, hey, what up, J Ferg 5? This is before Dejan. Everybody will salute back to y'all. Y'all know I'm an Army guy, so I gotta salute y'all. This is before he became Kawhi Leonard. I watched how he played. He played both sides of the court. This dude defense was impeccable, man. Like he's on you. Then he gets simple steals. That's why they call him the Claw, of course. Then he takes it down the rack. Then he got them big hands. He barely leave the ground, dunk the ball. Like his court awareness is crazy. I was seeing all this before he even won his first championship. And then I said, man, if he ever hones this in, which he did, he showed us, hone this in, he's going to be unstoppable. And so with that being said, years ago, yes, I feel like Kawhi comes back, B Jizzle. I feel like not only is he going to, be what he's already been to us, unstoppable, but I feel like, hey, man, the Clippers can get about 2 or 3 of them things if they stay healthy. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. If they stay healthy with this roster, I feel like you get about 2 or 3 of them things, And yeah, I know people are thinking about the Warriors, but let's be real. The Warriors roster right now ain't beating that Clippers team. It ain't happening. That PG and that Kawhi Leonard is too damn big. And Herm said something before I let you go, BJ. Herm said something. He said that they have too many wings. All right. Here's the thing. You can have bigger men, but the problem with having bigger men, can they move like Giannis? Or can they play just as hard as Joker? Or are they just as skilled as what's his name? Number 21, the Philadelphia. What's the brother name?
Joel Embiid.
My thing is, this is not a center's game no more. This is not a big man's league. That I just called out your big man right there in the whole entire league. Those are your true big men. You have Embiid, you have Giannis, and you have Joker. That's really the only, and then you can throw Towns in there if you rock with them like that. But those are really your big 3. This is a guards league, man. It's a small forward, power forward league. So you got to stay with the league. Yeah, you can get you a big man, but you better hope that big man is like Giannis. He can run with everybody. Because if you can't, what's the point? So the wings, like this ain't the 1980s, man. Like you have people like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George at 6'9", 6'10", running like a damn guard. Bro, we ain't worried about no big man, right? Yeah, you better stay with them dudes, man. This is crazy. But yeah, man, that's all I got to say on that. Like it's all, man. Look, we winning. Clippers got it,
bro. look. Here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. I'm gonna speak logic, but we gonna speak basketball. Like you said a good point. This is no longer a center league no more. You win off of wings. The best players in the world are wings. The Kevin Durant's, the Kawhi Leonard's, the Giannis Antetokounmpos, the LeBron James are all wings. 6'5" to 6'9", 6'10" guards who can play both ways, who can score any place on the court, who are bigger. You always choose the bigger, better player over the smaller player. That's why I say Kawhi is a better player than Steph Curry. People may not understand that, who just want to, say Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time and all that without looking at the game. Think about the 2019 finals when the Warriors faced the Raptors. It was Kawhi versus Steph. KD went down. It was Kawhi versus Steph Curry. Hey, Kawhi took them and they won the championship. If you want to say that Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson went down, Klay Thompson didn't go down to Game 6, and the Raptors were still up that whole series. Kawhi took over. He was the best player on the court. And that's just going to be the same thing when they face off again. If it's Kawhi versus Steph Curry, Kawhi will be the best player on the court. The Clippers roster, how they're designed right now, is thanks to this man right here, Jerry West. Now, everybody knows Jerry West is Bob the Builder when it comes to building up teams. He's the guy. No matter where he goes, he knows how to build the perfect roster, bro. And that's what he's doing with the Clippers. The Clippers are not going into next season thinking, "Oh, we got too many wings." They're thinking, "Okay, teams ain't gonna be able to match up with us." He knows what he's doing. Like people talk about this Clipper. Do you believe in the Clippers? Fool's gold. Understand, you got guys on that team who's won championships, starting with Jerry West. Kawhi Leonard has 2 rings. Ty Lue has a ring. So you can no longer say the Clippers don't have championship pedigree because you got 3 guys I just named that has championships who know how to win. The only thing, we're going to be real, the only thing that's held this team back is injuries. You talk about last season, they got to the 7th seed without Kawhi and PG. So what you think is going to happen with them this year? The year before that, Kawhi gets hurt in the playoffs. They go into the finals if Kawhi stays on the court. So people can say slippers, flippers, all that. That's not going to matter when they bust your head open come next year. Because they're coming for blood. They've been hearing all the talk from everybody else. They coming for blood. And when you beg for mercy, whether it's the Grizzlies, whether it's the Mavs, whether it's the Suns, whether it's the Pelicans, they're not going to hear it. Because they've been quiet the whole time. The whole summer they've been quiet in the gym working. They're not going to hear none of that when the season happens next year. So I'm excited to hear what's going to happen, bro. I think it's going to be a great NBA season all in all. But they got to go out there and do it, man. They just got to get the job done. The Clippers have to get it done next year. There's no excuses. That's all I got to say about that. Anything else before we bring people in?
Yeah, all I got to say is, man, do you understand the killers that is on that team right now? Like, John Wall is a killer. Paul George has been showing us the last 2 years he's a killer. Kawhi Leonard, we already know he's a killer. He don't even got no emotion. That's why I call him Terminator. Like, and then Terrence Mann, Mark Morris, bro. Like Luke Kennard, he smiles, but he's still J that 3 on you. Like, it's just like, bro, these are some killers, man. Like, this is a team that's going, man. Oh my gosh, I just pray they don't have any injuries. That's all I'm concerned about. Like, as long as they stay healthy, I know these dudes are coming after blood, like you said, man. But let's hop to the next thing.
You got some guests coming in, man. We can wait for the guests to come in, kind of talk to them. I know probably Bruce gonna want to come in here. Anybody else?
Come on, yeah, Bruce.
Oh, man. But anybody want to come in here and talk about that? You know what I mean? We can definitely get to it. And we got our first one. We got Herm coming in from Memphis.
Man, salute y'all.
Salute, bro.
What's good, man?
Man, y'all got a lot of wishful thinking going on though.
Speak your mind.
Look. Clippers, of course, when healthy, they one of the top teams in the West. But the thing is, sometimes you guys know because you guys play ball on a high level. You guys know sometimes too much talent is not good for a basketball team. You're in the situation, you got a young guy like Terrence Mann. He should start getting pretty good, decent minutes. It's gonna be hard when you got the Norman Powell, John Wall's on the team now. Cause now you want to see what John Wall can bring. So that's gonna cut Reggie Jackson minutes. But if you still gonna get Reggie Jackson big minutes, who minutes really gonna get cut? Your young stud, your defender, or a guy that could be legit like Terrence Mann, he gonna be left in the back burner. It's gonna be hard for Tyronn Lue to satisfy all those guys. You still gotta play Luke Kennard, cause that's your best shooter on the team. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for him to pull that out. No matter how good of a coach he is, it's gonna be too hard. It's gonna be too hard. And the West is deeper. The West is a lot of talent. You got a lot of those young teams coming up. The Pelicans gonna be a threat. They gonna dominate. They'll dominate a lot of teams on the inside. Dallas Mavericks coming. Dallas Mavericks done got better. Christian Wood kind of helped them out a lot, getting him. And then you gonna get a healthy Tim Hardaway. Lose a Brunson hurt, but the Mavs, they ain't sure their weaknesses on the inside with Christian Wood. Hopefully he don't throw a temper tantrum like he did last year with Houston. John Wall, I love John Wall, but I don't expect much from him. I don't expect him to be the John Wall that we've seen in Washington. I don't expect that at all. I don't see it either. When a guy hasn't played NBA games in almost 2 years, whether he's healthy or not, it's gonna take some time for him to get back acclimated, to get back in the zone, and get back in the rhythm. Clippers got a lot of what ifs. I see them anywhere between the fourth and sixth seed because what the Clippers got to focus on, just make sure you're healthy getting into the playoffs. The Clippers shouldn't even worry about getting the top seed. If they worry about getting the top seed, shit, they gonna hinder themselves like they always do. Something gonna go wrong.
Okay. Go ahead. What
I,
you
I,
got,
I
Rick?
got them. I got them second round though. I got them losing in the second round.
Go ahead, Rick.
No, I remember what he said. I want the other two guest panelists to go on the same topic.
My man, go ahead, Bruce.
Was Baba before me? I think he was there before me.
No, you
Right.
can go. You can go ahead.
All right, go
Hey
ahead, Bruce.
guys, how you guys doing?
Doing
Good.
good. We doing good.
I like the Clippers too. I expect a great season. To be honest, I don't know who's gonna win next year because it's gonna be very competitive. But my favorites are the Clippers and the Warriors. My problem with the Clippers is I do not like Zubac. He gets when he
I already
gets
know
on
where you're
pick and
going
roll.
with it.
I feel
When he
that.
gets on pick and roll, especially against Luka. Luka, it's like Luka's food, and I don't think he can guard Jokic. So and the John Wall that we're talking about, we expect John Wall Washington, but he played when he played with Houston. I did see some flashes, like he wanted to win, and James Harden didn't want that, so that's why they put him on the shelf. So if we get like 70%, 80% of John Wall Washington, I think the Clippers should be fine. But I think the Clippers' weakness is the center position. Even though you guys said that wings, it's a league of wings now. But you need a decent big that can rebounds and helps you with the pick and roll. That's what the Warriors had. They didn't have any bigs really. But Looney and Draymond did something. But the loss of that guy, that center that went to New York, is big. I don't know who's the replacement. Did the Clippers replace the guy, Isaiah
Hard stuff.
Atkinson?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Bubba.
Yeah. Salute to everybody in the chat.
Salute.
Good.
Yeah, Rick. You kind of always in your feelings when somebody disagrees with you. So with the Zion thing, I'm not saying Zion can't ball. Zion can play basketball, no doubt. He's a great talent, but he's been away from the game for about a year and a half, and there's somebody in his draft class who has kind of eclipsed him. So my whole thing is, if you're coming into this season, like, you have to show me. You have to prove it to me, because the last time we saw you play, you averaged 27 points per game. You shot over 60% from the field, but you were shooting 67% from the free throw line. You shot 29% from the three. Like, have you improved in these areas to, be a good player to help the New Orleans Pelicans? Because New Orleans, you guys are saying that the Pelicans are a good team. Yeah, I do see them competing in the playoffs. I do see them making the playoffs, but they were 20th in defensive rating. They ranked 27th in 3-point percentage. Like,
You're crossing the thin line, right?
What'd you say, bro?
You crossing the thin line with what you're saying, because we got a guy that you guys dearly beloved. He ain't playing a year and a half either. And y'all expect him to still be the same nigga. So you gotta give Zion the same respect.
Wait, which guy?
You gotta keep the same energy, brother.
He talking about Kawhi.
Yeah,
He only been out. He only been out for.
I was gonna
He's been
get
out
there,
for 11 months.
I was gonna get there. I
Go
forgot
ahead.
what I was even saying.
You're talking
about Zion. So his percentages were low. He has to prove himself.
Right. So my whole thing is, like, as you're coming into this season, like, they put some clauses in his contract, which I feel like is going to motivate him. Like the fat thing in his contract, which is very ridiculous. And they put that if he wins Defensive Player of the Year or MVP or makes an All NBA team, he's going to get the remaining of his contract. I feel like these clauses are going to motivate him to, perform better and exceed his potential and the expectations that we have for him. So that's why I told you that I disagree with the Zion thing, but I know he's a stud. He can play. And as far as John Wall, I hate when John Wall do all these interviews talking about, the third best defender on the other team is going to guard me. Like, there's going to be problems. Like, my whole thing's like, bro, let your game speak for yourself. You haven't played in a long time, And my whole thing is, if you get to the Clippers and they tell you you have to come off the bench, are you going to accept that role, or you're going to sit out like you sat out in Houston? Now, BJ the last time told me that he doesn't feel like John Wall would, if they tell him to come off the bench, he's going to disagree with that because he hasn't played in a long time and he really wants to play, and especially on a contending team, he'll really want to play and give his best for the team in any possible way that he can help the team win a championship. And the Clippers, Kawhi, it's an ACL injury, and I feel like he's going to have a slow start in the season, but as the season progresses, he's going to catch his rhythm and be the Kawhi Leonard that we all know and we all are accustomed to.
Okay, we got somebody else. Kanye Blaze, what's good, brother?
Kanye Blaze, what? I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that's my real name. Yeah.
I like
my real name. Yeah. Is the Clippers real or false? I think the Clippers legit. If Kawhi could reestablish himself as the star that he was in the playoff or in regular season. Still got a narrative that he didn't play 5-5 yet. And there's no problem with that. It's necessary for to push him because it's still in the off season. You want with Zubat? If it's Zubat, one of the centers. Zubat is a good center. Shown improvement last season. Up in average rebound, could still be strong for rebounding. Defensive end. Showing improvement in defensive end too. He had a game where Garrett Luka. Garrett Luka on the perimeter, even in post, play good. Even though you get cooked in the fourth quarter, I don't know, you can look at different in the fourth quarter. John Wall, I feel if John Wall could give at least 20% better than Eric Bledsoe and be a blessing. Eric Bledsoe did was great for Clippers, only thing he couldn't do is shoot, and this he dunk side towards Eric Bledsoe. Because Eric Bledsoe was good in guard.
Okay. Rick, you go to. Oh, my bad. You still going, bro?
Yeah. The Pelicans. The Pelicans. To me, is a dark horse. The only thing that need to prove the defense, because they hardly get defenders and the team. But this is it for me. I don't want to go too long.
Okay, sure? Go ahead, Rick. You got it.
Okay. So, jumping back to Herm. So, Herm, when I listened to you talk, it was like I felt like we were ending at the same destination, just coming from a different path, right? Because you didn't really throw too much shade. You was just like, I think you're a little too excited, which that's fair, right? I feel like this, you feel like that, but it still ended with they're gonna be within that 4 or 6 seed, like within that area. Even I can accept that. I mean, granted, we don't really know what the season may hold. These are all predictions. But based off of what I see, based off of what I kind of, and I don't see, I'm a stats guy like Bubba. Bubba's real good at stats. That's why I like him on the show. And I look at stats too, but I also visually watch people. And one thing I notice is, man, when it comes to them Clippers, man, I've been watching Kawhi, man, and Kawhi is just one of them dudes to me personally. I can't speak for everybody, but personally, where he just has that Derrick Rose, Kobe Bryant, quiet killer instinct inside of him, man, and he shows it. And so I feel like when you bring that type of caliber of player with another player like a Paul George and with another player like John Wall, who both like to play hard, and then the rest of the team, Terrence, man, all these guys have been proving themselves since he's been out. I just feel like if they collectively get that going, no injuries, please God, no injuries. I just feel like this is going to be a dangerous team. I mean, granted, I feel like they'll win, but I mean, you never know, right? It could come down to a shot. It could come down to whatever. I just want to make sure that nobody gets hurt. I want them to have like just one season where we can really see what they can do if nobody gets hurt, because that's what I'm betting my money on. because I already know how these guys can play. They already shown it. So if nobody gets hurt and they can get this thing going, I feel like this is going to be a diabolical team. Okay, and I think Chuck was it Bubba next? Was it? I think Bubba went, or did Bruce go next?
It was Bruce. It was Bruce.
Bruce went next. Okay, now you're right, Bruce. I don't really have too much I never really disagree with you. You know the game. I can tell you there. You Zen mode. I don't really have too much to say against what you have to say. But I think making a comment when I said it's more of a wings, power forward, small forward league. The reason why I say that is because I know before Jordan even came into the game, it was all about big men. It was like, it's just a big man. I was taught basketball that way. It was literally, you start from the center out. That even when I play ball with guys at the rec, I literally find the biggest man on my team, and I'm like, yo, you know, I'm gonna need you to be on that block, because fundamentally, I know everything starts from the center out, right? And so when I look at the league now, I just realized, like, you have your Joker, you have your Embiid, you have your Giannis, but then when you really think about those three, they're weirdly like superhuman. Like, I be watching Embiid move like Hakeem a little bit. Like, to be that big, my brother be just moving like he's Cinderella. Like, he be spinning, and I'm like, man, but how many centers really could do that, right? You know, he's one of those special ones. Then I look at Giannis, and I'm like, Mo, he's like a Mustang. Like, this dude has this type of engine in him where it's almost godlike, like a Greek god. Like, you playing Hercules, man. Like, this dude is crazy. Then when I think of a Joker, he's not as fast as the other two, but he's so skilled at like 7 feet tall. So it's like, how many centers like that? It's almost like if you're a center in the league, like that new Chet guy that's coming, the new dude that's in the draft. I forgot his last name.
Chet Holmgren, yeah.
Chet, that, like, you have to come into the league as a center like that now. Like, the league is too fast paced, it's too spread out. The flooring, the timing, everything about this league, you have to be such a skilled center. And I feel like if you're an old school traditional center, like Zubac will be okay in the 90s and 80s. That's why when you made that comment, like, Zubac, that's going to be a problem. I agree with you, because Zubac can't run like that. Zubac's slow as hell. So Zubac is good back in the day, but in this new league, this new era, Zubac going to have to, like, pick it up, because I see what you said is going to hurt the Clippers, because he's real slow. And then, like, he move, like, you need somebody like an Embiid where he's a center, but he can move, he can spin, he can fade away, shoot. He has like these nice quick skills he can put on you. Zubac slow as hell. So I just feel like when I made that comment, you know, power forward, all, like, is that type of league, because that if you watch the game, that's what these teams are predicated on. Like, the Warriors and the Celtics this year, they weren't a big team. You know what I mean? It's just like, and then some of your big guys like KD would be considered a center if you look at him by height. But hell, he's really a shooting guard, small forward, technically a power forward. But the way he plays and the way they use him, shooting guard, small forward. So it's like the league, the way they play people is different. And I feel like you just have to be way more skilled. You know, it's just, that's why I said I feel like it's more of a guards forward type of league. I don't really see true centers anymore. But that's my perception. But I don't really have nothing. Man, Bruce, you be on it. And then Bubba, you be on it. Okay. Now, when I made the comment earlier, Bubba, I didn't necessarily disagree. I just went off of what I see. Like, I know when, and you actually agree with me. I'm gonna defend you. You actually agreed at the end. You were like, yo, you know that Zion's a stud. You know that he can ball. So this is really not even a disagreement. I have a very boisterous voice. Like, when I'm mad or when I'm like frustrated, I don't talk. That's one thing about me. So if I'm talking, trust me, I'm not mad. I don't feel no kind of way. I even tell people all the time, hey, my opinion, my perception, this is what I feel. And I've been wrong before. I can admit, when I thought the year that, you know, LeBron went to the Lakers and he had AD and they won that championship in 2020, I was the main one saying, hey, they going to come back. Clippers going to have to play, and they couldn't even make the damn playoffs. So I've been wrong before. I just think that I love basketball, Chuck. Like, I love it. Right. And so certain players get me excited. When Derrick Rose had them good knees, I would be just as hyped. I'd be like, Derrick Rose ain't playing with nobody, but he gonna win a championship because he made me. I love the way he played. So I love the way Zion plays. And I know if Zion actually taps in and gets with the program, I just feel like, yes, they will be a dangerous team. Now, will that mean they win a championship? I mean, honestly, we don't know. None of us know. We don't know. But I know if he really like stays in shape and, like you said, works on his threes and works on his game, because the man got handles to be a big man. He reminds me of Charles Barkley a little bit, the amount of rebounds, the way he be grabbing the board from big men and bodying people. So when you mix all that in and you stay in shape and you keep playing with that tenacity like you do, perception-wise, I just feel like, yeah, the Pelicans can go really far with the team they got. But will they win? I don't know. But I just deep down, I feel like they can go pretty far. And you did somewhat agree with me. So I'm not if I sound emotional, I'm sorry. I'm a passionate person when it comes to basketball. I may come off emotional to people, but I'm not bothered at all. I mean, it's just all perception. We don't really know what's gonna happen. But I do feel if Zion, sticks with it, he comes in with everybody else with that game plan, and they stick together and they play their game. And like you said, adding to what you said, if he works on that 3-point shot, those free throws and things of that nature, it's only going to make them a more formidable team in the long run, hence no injuries, right? So, yeah, I mean, again, sorry if I sound emotional, but I get excited watching Zion. Zion is an excited dude to watch. He's exciting to watch. And then what was the last person? Kanye Blaze.
Yep.
Kanye Blaze, man. Like, you kind of agree with everything me and BJ was saying, but I think you what was the last team you called out? You were about to say something about it. I'm trying to think.
Pelicans.
You're the Pelicans. So like I was telling Bubba, it's all perception. It's just all how I see it. I mean, I feel like the Pelicans, they can get pretty far, but just like Bubba said, Zion does have to stay in shape. Zion does have to work on that 3-point shot. Zion
I understand. I just straight told you. That's understand.
And then also on top of that, I just feel like, long as Ingram and CJ McCollum, they keep bringing it. Is JaVale still there, BJ? Still on that team?
No, he with the Mavs right now.
Okay, well, I don't know why they got rid of JaVale, because JaVale was a nice little piece for them. But I was going to say, if JaVale was still there, I think he's a good center that can transition and run with you as a team. And those are a lot of young guys. So I feel like he was actually helping the team in a sense. You got a big man that can run with you.
Is JaVale McGee?
Yeah, but he left. BJ said he left, so he
went to his Suns last season. The season that passed.
He with the Mavs now, Kanye.
Yeah, with him.
He left,
right.
But like, barring him, because he's not there anymore. Barring him, I just feel like if the Pelicans can again. Zion does what he have to do, stay in shape, work on those percentages like Chuck said. And then also if they can pull together and really have a nice little mesh and chemistry, then, hey, man, I just feel like they can make it pretty far. So I think that's everybody on the panel. So, yeah,
okay. Man. I'm going to start with first. 1 second. I'm going to start with Herm. I think Herm had to get off because he had like a phone call. But I got an answer to one of my guests on the show, Dejan Mercius. He said Kawhi still got to go through Giannis if he want to win the championship. If the Clippers want to win the championship, I'm okay. That's fine. I mean, shit, he already went through Giannis already.
I knew BJ was going there. I already knew where he was going.
See, what y'all don't understand with me, I'm petty. So I remember everything. You got something smart to say, I'm going to come right back at you. Why is the argument all of a sudden that Kawhi Leonard, he's just a guy that's just out there who ain't done nothing? He already went through Giannis already. Oh, we got to go through LeBron James. He got to go through the Lakers, man. It's the battle of L.A. Who's going to stop LeBron? Shit, Lakers going to stop themselves. They just swept the Lakers last year without Kawhi and PG. What you think they're going to do with Kawhi and PG? Oh, we got to go through Steph Curry. That's fine. You already put him out in 2019. You see that picture, Dejan? You already put him out last year, or 2019. I keep telling y'all, man. Y'all don't know who y'all messing with when y'all talking about Kawhi Leonard, man. I keep telling y'all. Y'all keep acting like I'm just saying this just to say it. Dude, The dude is proven he has championships to back up what he's saying. So I'm not just out there just saying, okay, Kawhi Leonard is just gonna come back for no reason. Bro, I've seen this dude do like my man Rick said, and Rick's been studying more than me. The dude is the real deal. When it comes to playoffs and championships, bro, he has the highest winning percentage of NBA history. That's not because, oh, he sits out. For you to have that type of record, bro, you have to play games. He's actually played more playoff games than Steph Curry. So mismute all that, oh, he sat out games and all that, bro. He's played more playoff games than Steph Curry. Now, let me go to some of y'all in the comments outside of Dejan. Now, here's the thing. Bruce said the Clippers about Zubac. I think Rick, that's what he said, right? That's what Bruce was talking about.
Slow as hell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's talking about the Clippers. He said Zubac, he don't like Zubac. I understand it because Zubac is still learning. It's not like he's still learning how to play within the system, still learn how to be more of a weapon for the Clippers. But I see the effort. I see him actually trying to be a aspect of the team. He'll crash boards. He'll bang. He'll play defense. He can score from here and there. And I think with Kawhi and PG coming back and John Wall being there, they're going to make life easier for a guy like Ivica Zubac to give him that confidence to be and perform well how they're supposed to perform. So I'm not too concerned about Zubac not being an asset. That's a small problem to have. The Clippers are, and that's what the depth is for. The Clippers got so much depth, they can hide Ivica Zubac. They did it in the playoffs last year. When Zubac got killed by Luka Doncic against the Mavericks, they were able to sit him down because of the depth that they have. That's the point of having depth. When one situation doesn't work, here comes another one. The Clippers have enough size with Kawhi, PG, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum to go after and rebound. You don't have to have a 7'2", 7'3" monster in there to get you boards. That's just the bottom line. So I hear what Bruce is saying, but I'm like, okay, they'll work around that. And then my man Bubba said about Zion, bro. Like what Rick is saying, Bubba, is Zion's a dominant player. He's a dominant force, a brute force. So you have to respect that. And the Pelicans, what we seen last year without Zion, with the coaching of Willie Green, with the addition of CJ McCollum, with Brandon Ingram being able to be one of the top young players under 25 years old, they're going to be a problem. They don't have no fear of nobody. They went against the Phoenix Suns, and they actually, to be quite honest with you, they exposed the Suns more than the Mavs did, because check it out. The Pelicans, no one saw the Pelicans pushing the Suns that far. It took Chris Paul, game 6 out of Chris Paul, to over-counter what the Pelicans have for them. So they're going to be a year better, more excited going into the next season. Like, look, we can compete with anybody. We can play against anybody. We beat the Clippers in the play-in game. Yes, it was without Kawhi and PG, but we still beat them. So what makes you think we can't compete? So I definitely believe they're going to be a top 5 seed out west. Maybe even a top 4. My man Kanye Blaze, he spoke on, I'm trying to remember about Kanye, refresh my memory, bro. What were you speaking? My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt her. What were you speaking about, your take?
The Clippers or the Pelicans? Or both?
Okay. So, like I said, the Clippers, here's my thing about the Clippers, bro. They have to do it. Like, I'm not mad if somebody says the Clippers, the paper clips or whatever, because they have to do it. We have to see them do it. They have to take the championship. We can say all day the Clippers have the best team. They got this. They got Kawhi. They got PG. They got everybody else in the league. But they got to go and get the championship. Got to get it done. Until they get it done, then everybody outsiders are going to continuously not truly have faith in the Clippers, bro. So that's really much my take. Anybody else want to add on?
Clippers and Warriors are my favorites, but there are witnesses in both. Like for the Clippers, I know you guys like Luke Kennard, but he gets targeted on defense. And I forgot the other guy's name. That young player, That young player on Clippers.
Terrence, man.
Yes, he needs to. Sometimes I see that he's hesitating on offense. I mean, when he has the shot, he needs to shoot. Stop hesitating.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. There's a question mark about John Wall. I think we had this discussion before. I don't know. I don't know if he's still that guy. And to me, as I said earlier, Zubac is like man. I can build a house before you reach me. On pick and roll, come on, man. Luka, Steph. Come on, man. Man, people can go past him easy. And sometimes Marcus Morris, he has a couple of games, he cannot buy a three. You know, and
But if you look at it, it's because Zubac Clippers was good defense because it was eight in defensive rating for last season. Because it was not because of Marcus Morris. We all know that Marcus Morris feet lateral quickness slow. We all know that. Can't be Luke Kennard. No, not Luke Kennard, nor Reggie Jackson. If you look at it, Nick Batum was in OT rotation. It's And if you look at it, they hardly have players that could really guard like the team. Maybe when they add Robert Covington later down, but mainly because Zubat, yeah, he might be the athletic guy for protect your rim all the time, but he deter shots as in block part between you and the rim. But yeah.
Still there, Kanye?
No, I finished. That's a rebuttal they want. Say. Well, we're gonna talk about Zubat.
Anybody else? Rick, Bubba?
The Clippers look good. I mean, they're favorites to come out of the West, but yeah, they do have holes in the roster. You know, we haven't really spoken about Paul George. Like, Paul George can start a game and go like 2 of 9 in the first quarter. You know, he has to be efficient. You know, we want to see if you take 9 shots, cool, but we want to see like 6, making 6 of them or 7 of them. You know, you can't just start the game 2 of 9 because Paul George is the type of player that he has to start efficient to have a good game. You know, Kawhi Leonard can start the game not being efficient, but he can end the game going efficient. But Paul George, he needs to build a rhythm right at the gate to have a good game, you know. And with John Wall, yeah, as Bruce just said, like I'm not really sold on John Wall. He has to show it to me. You have to prove it to me. I mean, you've been in the NBA for 10, 11, 12 years. I mean, you've never made a Western Conference Finals appearance. I mean, a Conference Finals appearance before. So you're coming into the situation, which is probably the best team you've ever played on in your career. So I'm hoping that you come into this situation, this is system right here, and not do whatever you feel like you want to do, and try to whatever assignment the coaches give to you, just try to carry it out to the fullest. That's all I gotta say about that.
You got it, Rick.
All right. So hopping back on Zubac, I get everybody who spoke on him. I get what everybody's saying. I definitely see the flaws. I definitely see the holes. But one thing I will say is that when you have Kawhi and PG out there, I just feel like they utilize him and they kind of play around his game. They maximize the most potential that you can get out of Zubac. And like BJ was saying, you know, I definitely understand what Bruce is saying. That's why I said I like Bruce knows the game. Like, you know, Chuck knows the game very well. Like he can be a hindrance to that team at times. But I feel like when you got Kawhi and PG out there on the front court and the way they defend the ball and the way they transition, I feel like it makes it easier for Zubac to play within the system. Now, when you just got Zubac out there and, you know, PG's out there trying to be, you know, the young Kobe Bryant, you know what I'm saying? When it's just him, everybody's hurt, it does kind of hurt the team because you're not really utilizing Zubac the way they utilize him when everybody's on the court. Because when I see all of them on the court, it's almost like BJ said, it's like they hide him, but he's present. You know, they utilize him in the correct way. But when you just got Zubac out there and probably Paul George, like you said, Chuck, making 2 out of 9 shots. That's because, to me personally, Paul George knew he was that guy. Like that was really the only dude out there at the time that can make some noise, that could make a difference. But I will say Zubac can hurt you if you don't utilize him the correct way. It's almost like you have to play around him. You have to use him a certain way. But again, Kawhi being on the front side with the Paul George, that helps him because now you got to get past those two. And the thing about Kawhi is he knows how to play with Paul George. He knows how to play with Zubac. He knows how to use those pieces when he's on the court. So they look better when he's out there. But if we're just relying on Zubac, yes, I agree with you and Bruce. It can look a little scary sometimes because it's like he's not as fast. Like Blaze and his lateral quickness is trash. But at the end of the day, he is a big presence. He is a big dude. And like BJ is saying, he does try. And when you have your complete team out there, and of course, the coach, how they kind of utilize everybody to their strengths, Zubac doesn't look half bad. He doesn't look that bad, but that's only when you utilize him the correct way. I don't really count on Zubac to take over or do anything magnificent when we're just counting on him. But when you do put Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on that front set like they normally do, and you got the rest of the guys, Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, everybody running their system, Zubac doesn't look half bad. To me, he actually is an asset to the team. He actually does come, even if it's just his presence alone. He's like a golem. He's a big stone wall. So it's hard to move around that. So I just feel like, if you don't got Kawhi, then, you might have a problem. But when you have Kawhi and you have PG, they tend to do a little bit better as far as a collective group. So I will say that. But I do see both sides. I do see where everybody's coming from. And then
piggybacking on what you said, don't forget the power forward. I think power forward, if we switch out Marcus Morris from starting power forward, put in Rob Covington or Nick Batum, that can help with the help side defense. And to me, they're important going into not going into playoff, but helpful when it comes to players like Luka. Luka is he ain't fast, but he's getting the basket. And with we help the side defense, I think they'll be a big factor in doing most damage on the defensive end when it comes to superstars like
Okay. All right.
Go
ahead, Bruce.
What I can tell you, there's at least 5 teams that want the Clippers to play Zubac. When the Clippers finally beat the Mavs, when the Mavs were leading in that series, they set Zubac a lot. They had to play small against Dallas to beat Dallas. I mean, if I'm the Pelicans, I want the Clippers to play Zubac. If I'm Dallas, now with Christian Wood, that can shoot threes outside, I want Clippers to play Zubac. And last year, a lot of those closing minutes, I saw the backup playing the fourth quarter, Isaiah. So that's why I'm asking, who's the backup?
Well, that's our point, That's our point, Bruce, is that the Clippers they don't matter what you do, they can match up against anybody. That's why the Zubac is not a big issue. You just said it. They went small because they can. No one else, there's not a lot of teams that can do what the Clippers do because they have the depth and the roster to do it. So I'm not really concerned too much about Zubac because all you got to do is sit them down, like you said. But there are going to be series that they're going to need Zubac. That's why what Herm said that they roster got too many guys, that's a good problem to have because you can use different rotations. Not everybody can do that. The Suns can't do that. The Mavs can't do that. Once the Clippers did that small ball, they blew them out the next 2 games. So I'm not concerned too much about that. It'll be cool to have a backup center, but they got enough size. Again, this is Jerry West doing this. He understands the perfect roster to build. He's been thinking about this since last year. I'm going to get a bunch of 6'5", 6'9" athletic wings who can not only score, but defend and rebound the ball. So that's not an issue for me too much for the Clippers. As far as Paul George looks, I wish we give Paul George the same amount of cushion we give other players. This is the same dude just when Kawhi went out. He led the entire playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists, and minutes played. and being the number one guy on the option of the team. All this Paul George, what is he gonna do in the playoffs, bro? That should have been dead. He's already proven in the biggest moment what he can do. Because people keep thinking about that damn bubble is why people can't get past it. I find it hilarious. We keep talking about the bubble, but nobody wants to bring up what he did against in the 2021 playoffs when Kawhi went down. How in Game 5 he had 37 points and 16 rebounds and led them in the Game 5 victory. How in Game 5 against the Suns in the next series he had 42 points. And he's doing this playing the most minutes of anybody in the whole playoffs. So I don't understand there should be no more questions about what Paul George is going to do. Everybody has a bad moment at one point in their career. It's not like, you can sit there and say, okay, Paul George, we got to continue. I don't need to see nothing more from Paul George.
I disagree.
I've seen Paul George, he's a top 10 player.
What?
He's a top 10. Yes, he is the top 10 player. You have Kawhi Leonard on that team. He's the best player on the court. All Paul George has to do is be the second best guy on that team. And that's it. I'm not concerned about John Wall because my thing with John Wall, what Bubba just said, what has he done going to the Eastern Conference Finals? Bro, you understand there's only 2 teams that can make the conference finals each year. So that shouldn't define how his greatness is. The dude's a 5-time All-Star. He's averaged 9 assists. Think about this, 9 assists his entire career. He's the fastest dude with the ball in his hands. One of the fastest dudes with the ball in his hands. He's a legit point guard who plays both ways. I wish we just give these guys the same amount of leeway that we give other guys. Nobody's a perfect player. So again, making the roster how the Clippers are constructed, what Bruce just said, I'm not concerned too much about Zubac because all you have to do, like what you said, sit him down and play Robert Covington, play Nicholas Batum, who are the same size legitimately as Zubac as far as height, and they'll be able to counteract what Zubac lost. They'll be able to play defense on a pick and roll. Luka, every time he has a switch, he's got to deal with a more athletic wing. So that's not going to work. So I'm not really concerned about that. But go ahead, Bruce.
But Robert Covington, okay, there's 2 things I disagree. I think there's 10 players better than Paul George. I don't think he's good. Okay, there's Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. There's Embiid. Mm-hmm. That's 2. There's Giannis. Mm-hmm. There's Jokic. Mm-hmm. What's the name of that?
KD.
Yes, that's KD.
Kawhi.
What did I say? 5? That's 5?
Mm-hmm. Yes, 5.
Okay.
Kawhi.
Yes. So that's 7.
That's 6.
Well, somebody said LeBron.
7.
Okay. Okay. Let me see.
You said Luka?
Yeah, I'll take Luka. I'm sorry. Take Luka. But even Luka doesn't play defense.
That's a gray area right there. So you would take Luka over Paul George, even though you say he doesn't play defense. Now you can go either way with that one. I wouldn't just say you just take Luka and that's it.
That's okay. My problem with Luka, he doesn't play defense, but I think he's tougher mentally than Paul George. To me.
Yeah, I would take Jason Taylor over Paul George. To me, like the same player.
See, I won't take no.
Jason Taylor, hell no.
First come to me,
like out of my mind, I said hell no.
First come to me, I said I'll take Jason Taylor over Kawhi and Paul George. I almost faint. Anyway,
I would take Jimmy Butler right now.
Jimmy Butler.
Gray area, Bruce. I know a bunch of people that take Paul George over Jimmy.
Yeah.
Paul George is better offensively, but
Paul George is better, period. Paul George has been on multiple defensive teams. Paul George has led his team to multiple playoffs. He's never missed the playoffs in his entire career. His resume is a better
That's
resume.
not.
Than Jimmy
That's
Butler.
not that's playing every game doesn't mean that you're better.
He's a better overall player, Bruce. He's accomplished more. He's an All
But
NBA third team. He's all overall better player than Jimmy.
That's all resume. What about right now?
Not only though, because if you look at it in playoff when Jimmy Butler, when it's Jimmy Butler raised to the playoff level, Jimmy Butler stay away from team to me and Paul George add more teams, play within his systems and add more and give more. When you playing with Jimmy Butler, everything deterred to Jimmy Butler. That's why I think he's a better player than that's why I think Paul George is a better player than him.
Yeah, Jimmy's I think the problem is that he's inconsistent as far as last year. Nobody was saying Jimmy Butler, and I said Jimmy Butler's better than Jason Tatum, but he's not better than Paul George. He's not a better player overall. But you got 8. Name me 2 more.
Okay, let me see. I'm not gonna say Ja Morant, not yet.
Nowhere near that.
I would say Dame Lillard last year, but I'm not saying that.
Wait, last year? Hell no. Come on, man.
No,
Bro,
last
that's
year
all
before the
changing.
season. Before the season.
Okay.
Paul George is better than Dame Lillard. I know. Okay. I would say Anthony Davis, but he's injured all the time. So
Anthony Davis is not better than PG.
okay. I would say Klay Thompson, but he's not 100%.
See, that's what I'm saying. He said Bruce is saying all these buts, and I'm like, that's why I mean PG. That's why I say defensively, he's a top 10 player. I don't have to say but. I can just sit there and say Paul George is a top 10 player. Leave right there.
What about Kyrie Irving?
Paul George is a two-way player.
Okay. I mean, would Paul George make that shot over Steph in the finals? Would you trust Paul George to make that shot?
We can't limit that better player off of that. I'm looking at Rick can counteract this. Paul George is a 6'9" wing who can play both ways. Kyrie can't do that. Klay Thompson he's a specialty player. He's a third option. He's not a guy who's going to lead your team as a number 1 option. Paul George has been a number 1 option his entire career.
Facts.
So you can't compare Klay to Paul George.
Not his entire career. Now he's number 2.
That's why. Well, yeah, with Kawhi, because Kawhi's better. But this is the problem when people said Devin Booker was with Paul George. Like, you got to understand what PG's done his whole career. Devin Booker had 1 good season, and then they try to make it seem like he was on the level of Paul George. I'm like, y'all are making a mistake. This is a year-by-year thing. So, Anthony Davis, same thing. What has he done outside of that bubble championship?
Nothing.
I don't know, man. I
would say I'm the best. I'm the biggest PG fan on the East Coast. Like, I love everything about Paul George, but one thing I feel he has to improve in his game is his efficiency.
Yeah, that's facts.
I agree.
Okay. What about James Harden?
No, hell no.
Right now, James Harden's not better than Paul George. Houston, James Harden, no argument.
You say James Harden, Bruce?
You said it.
We debating. I'm just suggesting. I'm not saying he is.
No, I know why Bruce said it. I know why he said it, but I still would go with PG.
Yeah, is this looking at this?
I guess I lost.
The first ever debate Bruce has lost on the Pull Up Basketball Podcast bookie.
But no, I'm gonna defend Bruce a little bit. Like, I know why he brought up James Harden, because James Harden, offensively, when he's, and I think Chuck kind of said it that like Rockets, James Harden, that dude was a monster. He was a beast. But like, look, after that, I gotta go with PG. I just gotta go with PG, man. Because he's not been showing that old Rockets, way of style that he used to play.
Oh, hell no.
I gotta go with PG. And that's just me being safe. Like, I'm a safe dude.
Wait, y'all just heard the news?
What happened?
Bill Russell just passed.
Are you serious?
What?
Let me look it up. I'll look it up.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
nah.
that is huge news.
This is gonna be big. This is huge.
Oh my gosh, he just passed this morning.
I just seen it. He
Oh,
dies at
man.
88.
Oh, snap.
Bruce Song, you get report this. Big news.
Dang.
R.I.P.
Oh yeah, he did pass. Said dead at 88.
Yeah, dead at 88. Yep.
Oh, snap.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're
This
gonna
is
have to
huge.
do a show on this. Let's
13 minutes ago, legendary Boston Celtics big man was dead at age 88. Per reports.
we're gonna have to do a show on this.
Hey,
I
many
mean,
blessings.
we talked about him a couple weeks ago about the racism thing.
Yeah, the
He's
grandfather
still,
of
he's
the
still, he's still not top 10 to me, but rest in peace to Russ.
Rest in peace, Bill Russell.
yeah, Mr. Russell.
Rest in power. And to his family, many prayers, man.
Yeah, but what you got anything else before we shut it down, y'all?
I just want to say I do agree with the panel overall when they say we don't necessarily know. I can't agree with the statement that John Wall is going to be a question mark, right? But I will also say that out of all the years I've been watching John Wall, he does play very, very, very aggressively and efficiently. And I feel like when you put a player like that on a team like the Clippers, and like Chuck said, and he plays his role, and he listens to the coach. He works off of Kawhi and PG. I do think it's going to be a dangerous set. But again, I do agree with the panel. We got to see what he does. But I just feel like watching him in that interview, looking so calm, looking so relaxed, looking ready. Just watching his demeanor, I feel like it's gonna be exciting to see what he does, man. So hopefully he backs up his talk. But I do agree with the panel that we do got to see what you're gonna do, because we know what Paul George can do, we know what Kawhi can do. We haven't seen what in a little while here. We haven't seen what Wall can do. But based off of, what I have seen Wall doing, like his demeanor on that interview, I am excited. I am excited to see what he brings to the table. And then somebody mentioned this. I don't know if it was a couple people or one person, and it's coming to minutes. I mean, Ty Lue is an impeccable coach. He knows how to make changes on the fly. We've seen it. He knows how to, counteract different things within a game that they're already losing. I mean, I feel like Wall is going to a nice little setup. He's going to a good place, and as long as he rides with the team and he rides with the coach, this should be an exciting season. That's all I gotta say.
Anybody else?
I would say that in order for the Pelicans to be a top 6 seed, they have to really improve in their shooting. And because if you look at it from last season, they were basically bottom 10 in all the statistical categories. The categories that they were top 10 in were hustle plays, drawing charges, deflections, boxing out, setting screens, and contesting 2-point shots and 3-point shots. So I feel like they have to improve in shooting the 3-ball well, shooting the free throw well, because we all know NBA teams like to get free throws, corner threes, and layups. They do a good job at contesting shots, but the other statistical categories I mentioned, I feel like they have to improve in that to be a top contender in the West.
All right. That like it's everybody, but great stream today, man. This was definitely a great stream. Sundays are always good streams. Everybody come in and talk and chat in the panel. We can all get our viewpoints out. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for today, man. We'll be back on next Sunday. Got another good topic gonna cook up for y'all, man. But salute to everybody, Bruce, Bubba, my man Kanye, everybody in the chat as well. Definitely salute to y'all, fellas, bro. We'll see y'all next time.
All right. Yeah.
Later.
All right, later.
Energy.
Oh man. So great stream today, bro. I'm gonna let you end it with what's your thoughts on today's show. Just the last thing you want to say.
Well, as usual, man, the show is always on point. You know, Bruce and Chuck, you know, they're one of our regulars, man. They always come with the heat. They always come with basketball knowledge, man. So I always appreciate them coming on. It gives me a lot to feed off of too, to look at things in a different way. That's why I say when Bruce brings up certain points, or even when Chuck brings up certain points, you know, I do see what they're saying, and a lot of times I go off of what I see. Right, so I like how they add and sprinkle in, you know, stats, and they sprinkle in what they see, and it does make it more of a dynamic, you know, talk points of the show. So I love when they come on. Kanye, he came on. You know, he got some good points in. I just think overall, again, these are all perceptions. Anything can happen in a season. I pray that every team stays healthy. That way we can get a concrete view of how, you know, well these teams do when they're all healthy. And that goes for every team, not just the Clippers, you know, not just the Suns, you know, like every team. I want every team to be at their best this year, so that way we can get a clear view of how good they can really be, and we can see actual matchups, because it's hard to really define things at times when some of your best players aren't playing. It's really hard. And then we have to kind of go off of what we saw, like Paul George. Paul George, to be honest, in my opinion, he only gets that much usage rate because he was there by himself. Like, he was the only one that was, you know, didn't have an injury. So he had to take over, you know, and I just feel like when you have Kawhi and everybody else playing with you, now you don't have to be that your usage rate won't have to be as high, and you don't have to put that much pressure on your shoulders. You can just kind of play within your role, right? So I just feel like, you know, when everybody's healthy, going for the Pelicans as well, when everybody's playing, we can get a clear vision of what's going to happen, what's to come. And based off what we've seen in the last 3 years, and based off the players who didn't get to play, and just seeing certain players evolve or even get better, you know, of course, that's where the excitement comes from. You know what I mean? So again, Bruce, you know, Chuck, those guys come through with their perceptions. I love it. It makes me bounce off of stuff and think things different sometimes. And, you know, I really appreciate those guys. I appreciate Kanye. I appreciate Play for Keeps, man. Thank you. You know, God bless Mr. Bill Russell and the family. You know, I thought that man was gonna live another 20 years, man. That man looked good. So, you know, God bless the family. You know, rest in power, Mr. Russell. You brought so much to the game. Thanks for being a pioneer and laying the foundation so that we could talk about the game that me and BJ love to talk about. And man, that's how I'm gonna end it, man. But hey, at Rick Masters 23 or Mr. Lee at Instagram, Rick Masters everywhere else. You already know we got the shirts, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast shirts. This is the sweater I'm wearing. I'm sporting. Of course, I got the black tee. We got the red, the white tanks. We got the hoodies. Man, look, we got accessories for y'all out the Wahoo. So just, hey, check in, hit up me or BJ in our DMs, and we'll get that going for you. But BJ, you go ahead and take over, man.
Like my man said, definitely always continuously follow the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Definitely like, share, subscribe. We definitely appreciate everybody come through here. You know what I'm saying? That whether it's a donation, whether it's a like, whether it's subscribe, we definitely appreciate y'all coming in and supporting the podcast. You want to keep this ball rolling, man. Like I said, the best is yet to come. We always do this for the love, you know, of the game. We also do it because we feel like we have a gift and talent to do it. And we want to give y'all quality content. We want to be a podcast where we give y'all a difference from everyone else out there. So that's what we want to bring to y'all, man. We definitely appreciate everybody, you know, jumping the podcast. Respectfully say until next time, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, put live. Peace out of here like swim well.